Bunderkin a bun. Bun, 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 a Bunderkin, bun, 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 a Bunderkin, bun, 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 a Bunderkin, bun. This is Speedy, the Bunder Dragon. Here comes Cat, slowly lagging. Tupper in tow, always tagging along. Vi dreams big but drops the ball. Her petite pal Pam is tough but small. Kiki loves books, she reads them all. And the twins, they brawl. In a land of wonders, both great and small. In Bunder Valley, you'll see it all. Come discover the mystery, what it means to be. A bun, 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 again. A bun, 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 again. A bun, 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 again. Bun, 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 again.
Hey, what's up, Team Bunderkin? Team Bunderkin, how you doing? I'm Steve Kendall. With me again, as almost always, is Jon Snow, and we have a special guest this week, Charles Tyndall. Is it Tyndall or Tyndall?
It's Ted.
Tyndall. Okay, your microphone cut out for some reason, or a little bit, but I heard it.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, so Charles is our producer that's working on our game in development. He's actually graduating from college this spring, I think. Is that right? From your master's?
Yeah, in May this year.
That's fantastic. Yes. So we were lucky to pick up such a great talent. He's very organized. He helps keep us on point, let's say, and on schedule. That's his job. We're really grateful to have you. Thank you for joining us today.
I'm so glad to be here. I'm excited to talk about how the game's coming along.
Yeah, and we've been all really amazed. I don't know if any of you guys have noticed, but we've had a really big boom with our socials. Like we've gone up, I don't know how many thousands, but it feels like we're going up like 1,000 a week of followers. A lot of people finding the project. I just want to remind everybody to please pump Bunderkin. And if you know people that might enjoy our project and the world that we're building and the story we're telling, please share our Instagram profile. But yeah, so this week we're gonna do a few different things. I actually have prepared a few bits of fan art that we're gonna look at just to start the stream. So if any of you haven't joined our Discord yet, please join our Discord. You can go onto our Instagram. There is a pinned post on our Instagram that says "Welcome to the Discord." You can click on that, and there's instructions on how to find us there. And our Discord's awesome. We have a bunch of fans in there that are submitting artwork, that are asking millions of questions about Bunderkin and what the story is, and everybody wants to know who is who, and yeah, it's going to be fantastic. John, before I forget, can you send me that? I had you update that one page from our pitch Bible today. Can you send me that in Slack?
Sure.
Thank you.
I'm not going to mute myself.
Yeah. He was using telekinetic energy to just affirm yes on that. But let's look at some of the artwork we got this week. 1 second, share screen. You can go. Okay, we got first one's going to be from Negative Fox. We have. Tell me if you guys can see this yet. Oof, there we go. Really long-legged Bunderkin, but it looks like we got Beatty and Vi. But Vi looks like she has her ears/hair down, so she's kind of relaxing. It's a pretty sultry piece, I'd say, compared to most of our Bunderkin work.
I believe that's what they call a JoJo meme.
Okay, yeah. Well, I don't even know. Inform me.
It's an anime, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, and this is a shot where they put in the characters in place of the, JoJo characters. But it's two characters about to have a fight, a showdown, a throwdown.
Love it. I still think her leg pose is sultry. I don't know. Love it. All right. We got this one from Demakuman. Beatty looks like he's stolen successfully a bag full of coins, or trinkets in our world, we call them. Awesome. Thank you so much, Demakuman, for posting that. It's fantastic. I love the line work you did. I like the colors. I'm not going to critique the length of Beatty's legs, but they're a little long. Next, we got from that one Goofy Jacob. We got this one. This is hilarious and fun. I like that you're kind of exploring some type of wings for Beatty. Looks like you kind of drew here on the side of his arms a wing. But yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for submitting that. We got Cool Alex. Looks like he went back to one of our early Bunderkin drawings from Matthew Armstrong and did an homage piece. This is really fun. I like the line quality you got going on here. This is super cute. Thank you. We're going to talk a little bit more about masks here in a bit. And then we got one last one from Mope Mole Used. I think we posted this one also on our Instagram already, but it's just adorable. Let's just be honest. This is cute. Thank you so much for supporting Bunderkin. And yeah, we're happy to do shout outs here. So thank you. Speaking of shout outs, I want to shout out to my awesome team. So we had a really constructive week. We're starting to build out a lot of BD's core mechanics. We had a healthy meeting this morning just to kind of figure out when we're going to have what done. And, I told the dev team that our stealth mechanics for BD are one of the biggest priorities that we need to get right so we can start showcasing that on our socials so people can get the vibe of the game. If they can see our cute little guy sneaking around the environment and being super sly, I think people are going to really adore what we're doing. I'm going to show some drawings from Amanda, from our animator Amanda and character designer. She did a pass at our mask salesman. And yes, this is an intentional homage to The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and also Majora's Mask, where you have a mask salesman. I think we're going a little bit more, these are early, and I think we're going for a little bit more mystery behind him. But the fact that he's carrying a backpack or a large satchel with a bunch of masks pinned to him, that's an intentional nod to a really mysterious character and from Zelda. But yeah, I don't know. Charles, have you seen these drawings yet? You saw them.
Yeah, I saw them this morning. I think they're super cool. I really like the kind of creepiness of the first one.
Yes.
So I'm excited to see how Amanda explores with these.
Yes. I think John's going to actually do the next design pass. So right now, my strategy on this character design is to ping pong, do a little bit of a ping ponging between Amanda and John, just to kind of have them one up each other and just improve. And it's always good to do that when you're trying to come up with an original design or to try to make something unique, trying to get different points of view on a character. I think it's a good technique for really pushing a design in a lot of different crazy ways. Speaking of the mask salesman, let's talk a little bit more about masks. We got this amazing piece of work from John. Yeah, I know everybody's gonna ooh and ah over this one. I love it. John actually whipped this out. You started these yesterday. Well, so again, this was another ping pong. We ping ponged some original John designs, and then I gave them to Amanda to get her take on them. And then John is now doing his take on Amanda's take. And I think we're getting really close to final mask designs. So if you recall in our game, there's a festival going on, a bit of a Halloween mystery festival. And these masks are going to be worn by children and people as they're going about their business. And also some of these will be found pinned to the mask salesman. And yeah, these are some yeah, so we got Bunderbug Mask 1, Bunderbug Mask 2, and Bunderbug Mask 3, because we're very original with our naming. We have the Peaky Tiki Mask, the Nico Mask, which might be a little too close to Demon Hunters, but we'll see we'll see. We might change the color scheme a little bit, but everybody, we just adore that series. And we got the Bongo Mask, which is awesome. I think that one came out really fun. Kind of inspired by like beatniks, 1950s, 40s, 30s beatniks, like the sly glasses and the goatee. Then we got the Rune Mask, the Tawny Mask, the Chaos Mask, the Twins Mask. I think that one's going to be a favorite with some of our fans that follow along. The Jacko Mask and the Sly Guy. So we're kind of pushing through. These are all, honestly, these are all beyond what I had originally spec'd out for our game plan. But once we started designing them and realizing how much impact characters wearing masks would make to our festival, I feel like we had to kind of go all in on this. So we got a really talented 3D artist named Tyson Van Wagner. I wish I could recall his Instagram at the moment. You can look him up on Instagram. He's a fellow Utah 3D artist. He's coming in to 3D model and texture these masks, and yeah, they're gonna be flipping fantastic. They're super creative, and I think we're doing quite a few more. I think we're doing about 4 or 5 more than this.
I got got about 6 more coming up in the pipeline.
Yeah, six more. Yes. Yeah. So we did a lot of kind of research on masks, and we decided to like stick to kind of like a wooden kind of mask aesthetic. So they're all kind of similarly shaped, and instead of doing like floppy bits and things, like we really wanted to make everything kind of rigid. And yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Let's read some comments. Where can I find the music you used in your shorts? Depends on the music. Oh, everybody wants the remix. I think everybody's clamoring for our theme song remix, which honestly, Barnabas, it sounded so rad. So we might need to release that so people can play it. And maybe look into getting it on Spotify if possible. I don't know what hoops we have to jump through for that, but that would be sweet. Friendly Sparse says, I love the Bunderbug masks. I do too. I think there's something that reminds me about like Breath of the Wild, like the ancient masks. There's kind of a nod there.
Yeah, I was really happy with how they came out. It wasn't my original intention, but once I realized I was heading in that direction, I kind of leaned into it. They have a bit of a samurai look to them.
Yeah, I think these masks we're gonna keep on the mask salesman because they seem a little too exotic for the average Bunderkin. These 3 here, but I think he'll look great with those in the back. The twins mask is so cute. Oh my gosh. I was just telling John had no clue that a large portion of our fans on Instagram and in the Discord just adore the twins, and they want to know more and more and more about the twins. Everybody's in like, we haven't told you enough about them, and everybody, I think, is starting to pretend with our characters in their mind and create stories and really try to immerse themselves in Bunderkin and the world of Bunderkin. And people, I don't think they know how to play with the twins in their mind yet. So we have something special to show you guys here in a second. We did finish the twins character profile page, which has been asked for by like maybe 200 or 300 times in the Discord and in the socials on Instagram. So yeah, we did finish that. We'll showcase that here in a second.
Yeah, they're my favorite. So I really adore that mask. That's my personal favorite of the list. But I also the one right above it, someone in chat had also mentioned this, but it reminds me of the Kitsune mask from Kitsunes from, whether it be, there are many places in which they've been used, but I think they're super cool.
Yeah, I think it's Kitsune mask. I don't think it's from a particular show or series. I think it's kind of a general type of Japanese ritual mask.
Yeah, that was one of Amanda's designs.
Yeah, and also
most of these are hers.
Yeah, but we named them. John and I spent a healthy 25 seconds naming all of these masks today. We were just pumping out names, and we looked up, like what kind of owls, and the word a tawny owl is a type of owl, and I just thought that looked really adorable, and it kind of fits the vibe of it. So, yeah, I don't know. These are great, John, and again, masks are a big part of the game in general. So when we do issue out more footage and gameplay designs for the game, you guys are going to see more and more mask related themes appearing in the demo. So more twins info will be posted soon. Exactly. Thank you, Bunderkin. We're Bunderkin, so thank you. Yes. Will there be any fight scenes in Bunderkin? In the series, there will be fight scenes. In the game is a big part of the game is more about stealth and kind of avoiding direct conflict to some degree. There'll be indirect ways to thwart people, but I don't think we're not doing any kind of shooting at other Bunderkin or things like that. However, we might be with your slingshot shooting off our little oculi squids off of people's heads if strategically needed to be. So there's kind of a disarmament functionality. But yeah, so in a few of the episodes of Bunderkin, I have in my mind, I've actually saved a few anime clips of really awesome like action sequences for fighting and really, trying to pump the drama there. As the show gets rolling, that will be a bigger and bigger part of the intensity of the show. So yes. Any idea when the pilot will come out? No, not yet. So as you may or may not have known, we're punting a little bit. We're kind of we're still pursuing the pilot. We actually have a storyboard artist that's working full time right now on the pilot, and he's compiling the voice talents that we have. Um, but yeah, it's kind of on the back burner until April, until we get our game demo, or sorry, our game Kickstarter out, and then we'll be revisiting the pilot plan shortly after. Um, but let's look at. I kind of teased out this mask situation. So one second here. Let's find the mask. I think John, you sent it. No, not the mask. The twins situation. Let's see. It might be a little low res. John, did you send me a low res version?
All right, let me just see if I can get you a higher res version.
Yeah, the words. People are going to want to screen grab this, and
How did that happen?
what we're gonna do is we're gonna review this this character page for the twins, and then we're gonna show you a little bit of a progress on our game, some of the move set that Nate's been working on. So one of our key developers for the game his name's Nate Rivera. He's very talented and he's very quirky and funny and has a really great camera presence. And he put out a video last week that showcased kind of our first dev log, like a developer log for Bunderkin, the game. And man, it really hit hard on Instagram. Everybody, I think it got over 100,000 views, and it brought in a lot of new followers and new fans to Bunderkin. So I love seeing that. So,
And it additionally did well on YouTube as well.
Oh, is that right?
It's the short is, I believe, the number 2 short on the channel on YouTube.
Oh, good.
So, I really enjoyed it. I watched it not having known that it was made, and really enjoyed it.
Here we go. So again, always the artwork on these is a little bit old. The eyes are too big and stuff. We can talk about that, but we don't like to hold, whatever. Also, the age 10 aspect is not literal. If you were to estimate their age in our world, you would say age 10. But in Bunderkin years, that's a little different of a formula. They still have the vibrancy and the quirkiness and the traits of a 10-year-old people, but these two are actually a lot more sophisticated than what meets the eye. So I'm just gonna let you guys. I mean, I could read this if we want, but oops. Sorry. Here we go. I'll read it. How about that? Don't let their adorable attire fool you. These twins are two halves of a rather dastardly duo. Pixie is a mechanical mastermind. There isn't anything she can't take apart, and there almost isn't anything she can't put back together. Puck knows every shady person in town, and then some. When someone needs something, he knows exactly who to go for it. He's a smooth talker, and even if he's caught, you probably won't keep a hold of him. Together, they're nigh unstoppable. In it for the benefits, the twins are always ready to make a deal, provided that it helps further their own personal agenda. But be careful. Try and pay them up front, and they might just tell you, keep the money. We'll cash in our favors later. A huge part of the twins network is their inexplicably infinite amount of siblings. And I think I mentioned this in the live stream before. So the twins are the two oldest of a very long stream, a steady stream of literal Bunderkin that have flowed from their mother. While their single mom is overwhelmed and overworked, the twins have managed to run schemes right under her nose. As far as their mom knows, Pixie and Puck are perfect, precious angels who do odd jobs around town for extra cash, leaving the twins to run free. The twins love swindling, money, new technology, a really good deal, and a real dumb client. They hate losing, getting caught, consequences. Prized possessions, their intricate network of people, places, and things. Greatest fears, wouldn't you like to know? The twins proved to be an interesting obstacle for Beatty and his friends, in part because not even Beatty is above making deals with them. The twins, of course, are more than happy to oblige him, provided he returned the favor at a later unexpected date. The funny thing is, Beatty and the twins' goals aren't too far removed from one another. All parties involved are trying to fight against a status quo and do their best with what they've got. In fact, in another life, they all might have been friends. So sometimes our fans, and especially the Discord, we got a lot of youthful energy in there. They read these kind of things and they're like, wait, what? They don't like each other? Or oh, wait, what? They're not friends? And that's the adventure of the series, is how these groups of unlikely denizens of Bunder Hollow form, a very capable team. And it takes, just like in real life, it takes a lot of work and energy to get on the same page with people. And friendship doesn't come easily to everybody either. So it's kind of a bigger theme in general. But yeah, I hope this character sheet doesn't disappoint. Barnabas, we got to get this up on Instagram. Maybe tonight or tomorrow would be fantastic. I don't know what you got planned. But yes, this one is, I think, going to be well awaited. So yeah, hope it didn't disappoint.
I'm excited to see what kind of fan art this spawns. Even though
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
these are a pair of really fun characters.
Again, there's always intentional juxtaposition in Bunderkin. So these two are supposed to look super innocent and cute, just like two little toddlers almost, but really they're quite dastardly and devious. And they're menacing because they're super competent. Like they're you meet those young, like, precocious kids that just seem wise beyond their years. That's these two, and some. And then you multiply that with the reach that they have through their immense amount of siblings. They have, like, I think over 30 siblings that are all younger than them and smaller. It's kind of like they kind of together have a bit of a whisper network, similar to something you'd see in Game of Thrones with the Lord of Spiders, where you have his children network. Their siblings can really do a good job of sneaking into crevices and keeping an eye on townspeople. That's kind of part of their network. Anyway, that's that. Charles, had you ever read this? I don't know. You probably hadn't read this before.
I had not seen this one before.
Yeah.
No, I had just liked them from everything else I had seen. This is always. I'm sure that this is gonna spawn a whole thing in the Discord, which is exciting.
Yes, exactly. Yes, and again, the mask. Let me see if I can find that mask image again. 1 second. Our Slack is really getting harder and harder to navigate. Let's see here. There's just so many posts and so many people working on this now. Yeah, so this mask is kind of a quasi. I kind of want to call it the Gemini mask. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it called the Twins mask, but for now it's called the Twins mask. But I think we might call it the Gemini mask.
I like that a lot. I think that's a good name.
Yeah. I think that sounds more mysterious and more kind of, a little less. But anyway, I think it's really cute. That one just kind of came to John and I as we were kind of talking about masks today. I was like, wait, let's do a Twins mask. And then he literally drew two like quick gestures of the ears, and it was done. I was like, yeah, that's exactly what we want. Perfect. And that's how sometimes it just goes. Ain't that just the way? Let's kind of. I want to show you guys a little bit. There's a lot of caveats with this, and I kind of debated on whether we should look at this or not, but whatever. This is Nate's kind of playfield, and the lighting's really busted, and the shaders are busted. So, everybody can kind of, check your expectations at the door slightly for the look of it. But we do I got 2 new characters this week that we finished up that are going to be coming into the game. We got the tardy cultist is what we call him. He's in our game going to be looking for he kind of got separated from the group, and he has like his oculi mask that he's going to be holding in the crook of his arm. And then we have the face painter here. Her eyes are actually, right now they're a copy of Vi's, but they're going to be a little bit more unique than this. So she looks a little plain at the moment, but she'll look fantastic once we get her posed. And then we got some We got some props over here, and again, ignore the coloring and stuff. The fact that everything's kind of blown out and faded is not necessarily what we're going for. We got a lot of crates and stuff that have been created, created or created. Um, and yeah, so we got a lot of that. We got some decals here on the floor for indicating blocks that are climbable or pushable.
Yeah, those will go on certain crates.
Yes, exactly. Then we just got it. Yeah, and this is all modeled and textured by our own Matt, who's the greatest. Yeah, he's doing really good work.
The pile of
all-
logs in particular is like he did an incredible job on the
Yeah,
details on each of the logs. is
yeah,
so
the
nice.
details you can't really make them out here because it's all blown out. But I think when you guys see how vibrant they'll look, all of this stuff's gonna look a lot more vibrant once we kind of fix it. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Um, but yeah, and I think Nate kind of walked you guys through some of the move sets. There's some timing issues still with a lot of this. There's some like that's a little it's super cute, but it's a little slow at the moment. So we got we got a little kind of a small, we call that the hoist animation. And we also got like a jump up. Yeah. So what Nate's working on is he has to do all these great distance, these distance calculations to determine what type of animation to utilize at different types of cliffs, edges, and things like that. But that's where it's at. It's super cool.
I saw someone asking about power ups. They specifically mentioned like a smoke bomb ammo type for the slingshot.
Oh, nice.
And we're definitely going to be playing around with different ammo types.
Yes.
Not a ton of that will be showcased in the demo, but the idea is that you'd be going around and gathering special ammos to be able to use in different scenarios that you can maybe take different approaches to encounters with enemies, and like use creative ways to be able to evade them and distract them.
Yes.
So the idea of like a smoke bomb slingshot ammo is something we've directly spoken about. So that's definitely a consideration.
Yeah, that's a good question though. I like TQ4ST's comment because it intrinsically interests me. Which is, let's see if I can bring the mouse cursor over there. Will there be a Patreon? I know we need to start the Patreon. I feel like there's a lot of people that would just love to support what we're doing, and we definitely could use it. But we haven't set one up yet. That should be on our list of things to do. The one downside with the Patreon is I don't like to gatekeep a lot of content. We're trying to be very open with everything we do, and I've already kind of committed to YouTube to kind of releasing our devlogs and just not really trying to hide anything. That being said, there's so much stuff to talk about and so much stuff to unpack that maybe there is room to preserve some of that stuff for an exclusive Patreon. I don't know. What do you guys think about that, John, Charles?
Yeah, we could definitely do either some more inside baseball stuff on that, or we could also, in addition with our Discord, we could have special tiers within the Discord to link with the Patreon, or maybe channels for that kind of thing, where we
Yeah.
give more discussion to. But it's just a thought.
We just got hot off the presses. Matt just posted what he's been working on today, and I think you guys are gonna love it. Look at this beauty. Really great.
So this will be these are two of the wagons that we'll have in the general area for the demo. So we've been calling it the encampment, which is the area right outside of Bunder Hollow where BD is going to be exploring around. And people have pulled up kind of like a tailgate for this festival happening. And yes, these are a couple of those carts that people will be hauling around and hanging out by, and they'll generally be linked with trying to link them with the personality of the people that are in front of them.
Yeah, I think I love these. I like the colors. I like the warm colors he's going with, and There's a lot of good stuff here. I think he's got a. I don't think he's updated the wood scale on a lot of these boards. It's probably just a work in progress, but yeah, look how cool that looks.
That's looking really cool.
Yeah,
I think they need a little more paint, but I love how they're turning out.
I agree. Yeah, more paint. I do like the subtle orange paints. I think that works well with the wood, but I think some of these other areas need some more vibrant colors. But yes,
I saw he was messing around with the colors with banners as well.
oh nice. Yeah, we have I think you guys, yeah, I've shown we have this 3D model that's done by Pamela, one of our modelers named Pamela. This little chubby kid that's going to be subject to ridicule in the demo, not by Beatty, but or me, but just I think he's a little bit of a +1, you could call him, like a Me Too kid. I don't know what you want to call him. Me Too. It sounds like Me Too, but no, not like that kind of Me Too. I mean more like an extra. You know what I mean? This is one of the last things I want to show before we go for the day. John did this amazing quick illustration of. I'm not going to get into too much about what this is. I think I already talked about it on a live stream already, so I'll encourage everybody to go find out where I talk more about this. But this is an environment for the demo as well. And again, what we're hoping to do with the demo, I really like this, John. This little. That's adorable. What we're hoping
a tiny BD for scale.
Yes, what we're hoping to do for the demo is provide you all a free-to-play 10-minute to 15-minute Bunderkin game experience that will really kind of kick off the story of the bigger game as a whole, and also hopefully prove our competency in designing a game and creating one. And we're hoping that has a really big impact, so the gaming community will appreciate that, and word will get out that we are onto something with what we're doing. So, it did cross my mind just to do a Kickstarter with our fan base as we have it, and just kind of hope for the best, and not really deliver anything. But we're really trying to be fair, so you guys can play the demo and determine for yourselves on whether Bunderkin is worthy of your precious dollars, which I truly mean that. Like, money doesn't come easy, and it's there's a lot of ways you can spend your money, and we hope that at some point in the springtime that you guys will be tempted to give our game a whirl. It'll first be available on Steam, and then as we get rolling, we're hoping there's going to be more and more mechanisms for you guys to have access to the game. That's the goal. So, and we'll get as we get closer to the springtime, we'll talk more about what the Kickstarter is going to look like, and what kind of rewards and tiers for pledges will get you. And I think you guys are going to be pretty mighty happy with the swag opportunities. So, yeah. What else was done this week? Matt did
Warm Mocha mentioned it's giving Hollow Knight vibes, and I feel like that's probably a back of John and I's mind kind of a thing, because both of us are big fans.
Yeah.
That's high praise comparing it to Hollow Knight.
So I played all of Hollow Knight. I love that game. I didn't play Silk Song because I'm trying to take my life seriously right now. With this, I have this big goal, and my 3 sons played it and beat it. So I hear all about it. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't want to commit that many hours, even though it's not that many hours to it. But yeah, that's a huge compliment.
Actually, it is actually quite a big game. It's bigger than the first one.
Yeah.
But there'll be time later.
Yes. A Friendly Spar says, sees other people throw money at Kickstarter and decides to join. Yes, exactly. Also throws my cash at the Kickstarter. Just the Kickstarted. Nice. Love it. You guys are really supportive. So cute. Thank you for all the support.
Yeah, thank you.
The wooden wagon with Beatty's ears. Yes. So there's a lot of ears that kind of pop up in the buildings around Bunder Hollow. They're not precisely Beatty's ears. In fact, nobody in their right mind would want Beatty's nasty Bunder Dragon ears on their building. But they do kind of represent like just a variety of different type of animal-like qualities that are found in Bunderkin. So everything's kind of designed to be kind of cute and quaint that way.
Yeah. Try to keep the ears on buildings a little wider and stouter, so they don't look exactly like Beatty's ears.
That's true. Also, we have, what else did we get done this week? We have first pass at the Takanaki salesman, which but I'm going to keep moving because it's not quite there yet with it, but it's close. What else did we get done this week? I just want to show one last bit of business. We got little. Let me see here. We got little stubby pig kids. This kid's actually going to be adorable. He has little antlers behind his piggy ears. That's just a 3D model of it, and this is his. Let's see. This is his mom. And then we have, yeah, again, you guys saw all the iconography that we did. Some other stuff I'm going to breeze past because it's not the right time to talk about it. But yeah, we have a really adorable hairstyle. We haven't showed a lot of Bunderkin with full hair. The twins have hair, but it's underneath their little pajamas, so you don't really see it. But this is going to be like I think she's a snack vendor at the festival. Is that right, John? Oh, yeah, I think you're muted. Let's see.
Yeah, she's one of the vendors.
Right. Yeah, so it's been a pretty eventful week. We got different channels for different groups, different types of conversations going on. And that's just kind of how we roll. But that's it for our weekly update. I just wanted to bring you guys up to it. So yeah, this would be a good time to ask any last minute questions before we sign off. We got about 3 minutes left.
Someone asking about the Spider-Man thing, and that was we were having a bug today where when you slide along a wall, you could, if you started up on a higher height than the ground, you could kind of stay along that height. So we were joking about.
I'll show the. Let's see. This is the bug. So Nate sent this out today. Let's see here. I think our hoist animation is too slow. We got to speed that up a little bit. Yeah, so you can literally start sneaking and then start levitating off the.
I understand why you're like.
That's not intentional. Yeah. Awesome though. Question from Exploral Dive. Can we know all the symbols of the founders, like what they represent? Not yet, unfortunately. I know we got to dangle a few carrots in front of you, but that one's going to be more of a theme that's explored in the series. However, there will be a lot of mention of the founders in the game. In fact, that's one of the things we still have to 3D model is the mural of the characters. Of the founders. There's a big mural on the side of the tunnel entrance to Bunder Hollow. And yeah, let's see what else we got. We got the twins character sheet is the coolest, the coolest. I love I love your Cathu plushie sneak peek profile pic. That's awesome. Do you think you'll hire more people if the Kickstarter does well? Probably. I mean, yeah, I think we don't want to make our team too big, to be honest. In fact, we just want to make sure we get the game done right. And sometimes the best way to get something done right is with as few people as possible. But to be honest, yeah, no, we are hoping to expand our Bunderkin efforts, and we will have some more voice talent opportunities opening up for the game specifically after the Christmas break. And that will be for an April release with the demo. So that'll be a very fast turnover for us trying to find voices and cast them and then record them and then get those clips implemented in the game. So prepare for that process to be a lot faster than it was for our Star Search for the series, which obviously we had bigger characters and to look for that. So let's see. What games or TV shows did you get inspiration from for Bunderkin? There's a lot. Disney gummy bears, DuckTales, um, Calvin and Hobbes, Tintin comics, Gravity Falls in regards to like just the mystery aspect. You could also say Scooby Doo, obviously, but it's kind of it's not really direct inspiration. Um, you know, there's a lot. I don't know. It's kind of it's one of those things where I took just a lot of my favorite concepts and started figuring out how to add them and stick them to this rather unique snowman. So now that it's kind of all come together, it's hard to kind of pick apart a lot of the inspirations for it, but there are a lot. I mean, we often mention, um, you know, we like to homage different themes and different designs from different, um, really creative people. So, um, you know, just like anybody. But anyway, that's a good question.
And for the game specifically, we often are pulling a lot of reference from the old school linear Zeldas, which we've mentioned a couple times, but
Yes.
that's been one of our core references.
Yes. Will Bunderkin be dubbed into other languages? That's a good question. I think for the series, definitely. For the game, there is cost to that, so we just kind of have to figure out how we're going to parcel out that type of effort, in whether it's done in the reward scheme as a reward. I've seen it be done as a reward, like you get a certain number um, of backers. Um, that could be we could try to parse that out into honestly by language, so people could buy a tier that would actually be for um that particular language dub. But it's hard because if we only got like two, you can't really you can't do sub goals in a Kickstarter, from what I know. Like, you can't say like, well, okay, we're funding our game, and then we also have a parcel fund for getting this game in Italian, and you can't, like, you can't kind of get that funded as a separate but inclusive goal to the bigger goal. That would be sweet if you could, to be honest, because that way we'd get, it would be really more motivating for each region or each country in the world to kind of try to get the game in their actual native tongue. But I do think our priorities would be some of the bigger languages. It would be Chinese and Spanish and Japanese and what was the other one we talked about, guys?
Was it Korean?
It might have been Korean. Yeah. But yeah, it depends how that works. But that's a great question. Yeah, we'll start to unpack that and ask our community more questions about that as we go. So, is Boba Tea Yoga from the game? No, Boba Tea Yoga is a unique villain from the series. So, we might try to add some homages. In fact, as we were talking about masks, John, I thought maybe we should try to figure out a Mayor Bunsen mask, as well as possibly a Boba Tea Yoga one,
That'd be
just
fun.
as kind of an Easter egg. I don't know how we would fit it into the bigger game, but for the demo, for the demo, we can afford to put a lot of kind of inconclusive Easter eggs just for you guys to find joy from. But yeah, there definitely should be costumes. Since Kathy has a childlike voice, what do you think the other characters will sound like? So, Beatty has a bit of a rascal voice, and we haven't revealed yet who we've cast for that, but we have cast a fantastic individual with a ton of acting and expressiveness range in his voice. And everybody I've shown clips to, we have done an animation test with him. He's already recorded for the full first pilot episode. Actually, I still have to pay him. I just remembered. Mental note: pay him. But yeah, we now you can see how crazy my mind is. But yeah, no, it's true. I do have to pay him before the end of the year. But yeah, and we want, because Kathy's childlike. Beatty's a lot more experienced, and he has a little bit more of a swagger to his voice. Vi has a very again, she's going to be cast by a very well-known. I don't know how well known. I mean, I think she's very popular. Let's just say that she's an actress that has voiced one of the more popular female voices of an animated series in the 2000s. So let's just leave it at that for now. But and yeah, she has a very chipper voice, a very clean, melodious voice. Kind of, and there's a little bit of a know-it-allness to that as well, which is intentional. But anyway, we got to get going, guys. Thank you so much, everybody, for the support. Am I forgetting anything we should talk about? Is there anything else that was on our checklist, guys?
I think that was it.
Okay. Charles, again, thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you again soon.
Yeah, hopefully we can show some game stuff soon.
Yes. All right. Yeah, that's our goal for next week, is to show you guys more conclusive game progress. So thank you. Talk to you guys later. We are out.